Hi everyone and welcome. In this chapter we will talking about setting up Espresso. What we will cover during this chapter. We will start by talking about preparation of our environment by installing Java JDK, Gradle and Android Studio, including Android SDK and Android EVT. Then we will take an overview of the Android application by understanding the project structure. What is the Gradle and what is the Gradle build file? After that, we will learn where we can add our test classes, how we can set up Android emulator with Android SDK, for example version 9.0, and finally, how we can avoid flakiness with the devices. And before we start, just a quick note about preparation or preparing the environment. In this course, we will prepare the environment for Windows OS and Mac OS. But during the course, we will continue with Mac OS as a default environment. We will start by installing Java JDK. You should have an account or create a new one in Oracle website to be able to download Java JDK. Just so we can hit this URL, and after that we can choose and download the Java JDK that's suitable for our operating system, and after that we can install it. The next tool is Gradle. So what is Gradle? Gradle is a build tool with a focus on build automation and support for multiple language development. Gradle offers us a flexible model that can support the entire development lifecycle, from compiling and packaging code to publishing websites, for example. Gradle supports build automation across multiple languages and platforms, including Java, Scala, Android, C, C++, and Groovy. And Gradle runs on all the operating systems and requires only a Java JDK version 8 or higher version. Android Studio. Android Studio provides a complete integrated development environment or IDE, including an advanced code editor and a set of app templates. And in this course, there is no any need to install any other IDEs like IntelliJ or Eclipse, because we will use Android Studio as our main IDE in developing and writing test automation scripts using Espresso. It contains tools for development, debugging, testing, and performance that make it faster and easier to develop apps. And with Android Studio, you can test your apps with a large range of pre-configured emulators or on your own mobile device, build production applications, and publish the applications on Google Play Store. In this video, we will prepare our environment for macOS user by installing Java, Gradle, and Android Studio. Open your favorite browser and search in Google about Java JDK, and then click on this link. Choose the version that you need to install. For example, in our case, we will install Java JDK version 11 LTS or long-term support. Choose a suitable file that matches your operating system. For example, in our case, it's Mac OS. And we have two options to download Java for macOS. We can download the DMG file, or we can download the macOS compressed archive. Click on Java JDK download macOS compressed archive file, and accept the agreement to download the file. You need to be logged in with your account, or create new account to be able to download this file. After the download is finished, extract the file to be able to use the folder content. Open the terminal to open the Java folder by this command. Here I have a previous version of Java, and I will copy and paste the new version here also. I just need to enter my password here to be able to continue with this operation. The next step is we need to export Java home in our profile, and it depends on your machine. You can have it in bash profile or in .profile. But in my case, the profile is ZSH because I'm using iTerm terminal. Open the profile with this command, and in the profile, we need to add this line. And because I have a previous version of Java, I need to change the version to version 11. Then I will save the changes. To make sure that the changes is applied in this file, we need also to run this command. And finally, to verify the installation, open the console or the terminal again and run java -version or javac -version to verify that the version is correct. To install Gradle, open your favorite browser, search about Gradle, and after that we will open the Gradle website by click on this link. Select install, and you will notice that Gradle required a Java JDK or Java GRE version 8 or higher to be installed, and we already installed it in the previous step. For macOS users, we can install Gradle by using Home Pro with the following command: pro install Gradle. After the installation is finished, we can verify the installation by opening the console and run Gradle -v to run the Gradle and verify the version is correct. Open your favorite browser, for example Google Chrome in my case, and in Google search we will write Android Studio. Then we will click on this link and we will navigate to Android developers site. We will find the link for download Android Studio, the latest version, for your operating system. Then follow the instructions to download and install Android Studio by accept the agreement. After the file download is finished, double-click on the DMG file and drag and drop the Android Studio icon in the Applications folder. And in my case, because I have previous version of Android Studio, so I will select Keep both versions. We will accept the default configuration for all the steps and ensure that all components are selected for installation. After that, we will wait until the installation is finished to be able to use Android Studio. After finishing the installation, the setup wizard will download and install some additional components, including the Android SDK. And this might take some time depending on your internet speed. When the download completes, Android Studio will start, and you are ready now to create your first project. And in this video, we will prepare the environment for Windows OS users by installing Java, Gradle, and Android Studio. To download Java JDK for Windows, we can do the following steps. Open your favorite browser. In my case here, I will open Microsoft Edge, the default browser for Windows. And I will search about Java JDK, and after that I will click on this link. And as we did in the macOS installation video, we will choose the versions that we need, and in our case we are selecting Java version 11 LTS or long-term support. After that, we can choose a suitable file that match our operating system, and for Windows, we can download the Windows installer or the Windows compressed archive file, like the macOS one. We will click on Java JDK download Windows 64 compressed archive file to download it, and after that, we can agree in the license or the agreement to be able to download the file. And also don't forget to be logged in or sign up with a new account to be able to download the file from Oracle websites. We need to create a new directory. For example, in our case, we will create on C drive a new directory with name JDK. In a second File Explorer window, open the directory where the Java JDK was downloaded, right-click on the zip archive file, and select Extract All to export the content. Then, drag the content folder or copy and paste it to our newly created folder on C JDK folder. Then, we need to set up Java home environment variable and path environment variable manually to point our JDK directory and its bin subdirectory with the following steps. In the search bar, search about system environment, then open the System Properties window, click on Environment Variables button, click on New button, and in the variable name, add Java Home, and in the variable value, add the path of our JDK, and as in our case, it's C JDK folder. Click OK to save the changes. Then we need to add this environment variable in the path variable. By double-click on the path, click New, then add our Java environment variable like this, and append the bin folder to this variable, then click OK and click OK again to save the changes. And finally, to verify the installation steps, open the command line prompt or console and write java -version or java c -version to check the Java version is correct. After installing Java, the second step is installing Gradle for Windows OS users. To do that, open the browser, and in my case I will open Microsoft Edge browser, the default browser on Windows, search about Gradle, open the Gradle website, click on Install button, and you will notice that the Gradle requires a Java JDK or Java GRA version 8 or higher to be installed, and already we installed it in the previous step. We will download the latest Gradle distribution, and the distribution zip file comes in two flavors, binary one or only bin, and complete or all with docs and sources. But in our case, we will choose the binary only files. Then we need to create a new directory. For example, in our case, on C drive, we will create a Gradle directory. Open a second file explorer window and go to the directory where the Gradle was downloaded. Right-click on the zip archive file and select Extract All to expose the content. And drag the content folder or copy and paste it to our newly created folder. Then we need to set up Gradle home environment variable and the path environment variable manually to point to our Gradle directory and its bin subdirectory with the following steps. On the search bar, search about system environment, open the system properties, click on environment variable button, click on new button, and in the variable name add Gradle home, and in the variable value add the path of our Gradle, and it's in our case C Gradle. Click OK to save the changes. Then we need to add the environment variable to the path variable. Double click on the path, click new button, and then add our Gradle environment variable like this, and append the bin folder to this variable. Click OK, and click OK again to save the changes. And finally, to verify the installation steps, open the console and run Gradle -v to run Gradle and verify that the version is correct. To install Android Studio for Windows OS users, open the browser, and in my case I will open Microsoft Edge as the default browser for Windows, and search in Google about Android Studio. Then navigate to Android developers site and follow the instructions to download and install Android Studio. You will find the link for download Android Studio, the latest version for your operating system. Then follow the instruction to download and install Android Studio by accepting the agreement. After the file download is finished, double-click on the executable file to install Android Studio. Accept the default configurations for all steps and ensure that all components are selected for installation. After finishing the installation, the setup wizard will download and install some additional component, including the Android SDK. Be patient, this might take some time, depends on your internet speed, and some of these steps may seem redundant. When the download completes, Android Studio will start, and you are ready now to create your first project with Android Studio. What is the difference between virtual and physical devices? Emulators or virtual devices are usually visualized mobile devices. A good emulator runs exactly the same operating system as the physical device that it's emulating, and actually it's a really good option for mobile testing. But the disadvantage of using an emulator is that emulators have limitations including hardware components such as Bluetooth, GPS, and cameras. Testing on physical devices is a good idea when you need to test the result to be accurate as possible. Testing on physical devices gives you the most accurate test result because, simply put, you are testing on the actual device on which your software will run. To create an Android emulator, we can do it from 3 places. From Tools menu, we can select the AVD Manager, or from here, from the device target or target devices, we can select here, and also we can open the AVD Manager, or from the icon here, we can just one click on this one and open the AVD Manager. If you open it for the first time and you don't have any previous device installed before, you can click on Create Virtual Device. And from here, the virtual device contains from 2 parts. Select the hardware first, and after that we will select the operating system that we need to install it on this device. For example, here I will select Pixel XL, and after that I will click Next, and this is the system image, or this is the operating system that I wanted to install on the previous device. For example, in our demo we will select Android 10 or we will select Android 9. Then I will click Next, and here you can change the AVD name. For example, you can remove this one and leave it Pixel XL with 28 to be able to know which version installed in this device. Here also you can start up the orientation as landscape or portrait, or you can change anything here on the device. Then we can click on Finish to finalize creating the Android AVD. And from here you can launch your emulator, or you can edit the setting for this emulator, or you can also check the different options with this emulator. For example, here I can click on Launch, and the emulator will start to initialize with the boot screen, and after that I will wait until the installation is finished. And now, after the emulator loaded successfully, the device now is ready to be used in our test automation scripts, and we can run our test scripts after that on this device. And for setup and prepare a physical device, as you know, as a first step, you just need to connect the device to your machine using a USB cable, then enable the developer options and USB debugging in your device. And to enable the developer options, you can find these options on the following location depends on your Android version. For example, in Android 9 or API level 28 and higher, you will find it under Settings, About Phone, Build Number. And in Android 8 or Android 8.1.0, it will be under Settings, System, About Phone, Build Number. And finally, if you have Android 7.1 or lower versions, it will be under Setting, About Phone, Build Number. In this slide, we will take an overview of the Android applications or our Android applications under test that we will use and working with during this course, such as Basic Example, Drawer Example, Circular Viewer, Data Adapter, Web, Idling Resources, and Intend Example. To avoid flakiness with the devices, especially emulators, it's highly recommend to turn off the system animations on the virtual or physical devices for testing. And to do that, just open your device, emulator or physical device, under Settings, open the developer options and disable the following 3 settings: Windows Animation Scale, Transition Animation Scale, and the Animator Duration Scale.